When you hear the word keys, what comes to mind? For me, initially, it's an unlocking, an opening, access. And that's exactly what I want to provide, what my intentions are with this show. It's not just to be another podcast on streaming platforms, but to actually make an impact. So when I say, welcome back to the Keys podcast, where we are unlocking the best you and opening the path to career freedom, how does that sound? When I first launched this podcast, it had a totally different name. I had a totally different understanding and vision for the show. And once I achieved that vision, hit my goals, I realized this is actually bigger than me. Lillian Hernandez, also known as Lilly, like the flower. You may have found me when the show was originally called Transaction Care, and now we are The Keys. I've worked in real estate for 21 years, and through those years, I've had every up and down, in and out, high, low you can ever imagine, as I'm sure many of you have also experienced in your life and your career. So when it came to my creative endeavors, whether it was creating a YouTube channel to teach other aspiring or up-and-coming transaction coordinators, or to help real estate professionals maintain their business, I did just that. When I felt like podcasting was trending or something I could dive into, I did just that. But as I mentioned, it started to feel bigger than me. And honestly, I got scared. And when I get scared, I start to avoid, self-sabotage, you name it. Fear, doubt, all of those emotions and feelings that we don't like, we don't need. They start to surface, and all of a sudden, I start making excuses for myself and ultimately doing nothing. So when I initially changed the name of the show to The Keys, that's when I started to get those feelings of, this is bigger than me. This is bigger than transaction coordination, even real estate. But I also know and respect and honor that real estate and transaction coordination has been the vehicle for me on these different paths that the keys have unlocked. And moving forward, I want to use this show to give you guys the keys that I've used to benefit my life, my business, my career, as well as talk to others that have succeeded in their journeys or even failed so hard to the point that they had no choice but to get up and keep fighting. In this season of my life, ultimately, I'm starting to fight back. And I don't mean blow for blow, hit for hit. I mean, if it calls for it, just know I can fight in real life. But what I mean is, I have recognized that in my past, when it came to decision making for my career, or even the friends I make, the places I attended, it was very much rooted in people pleasing. It was very much rooted in, let me just do this out of survival. But as I grew older, started listening to more Beyonce, affirming myself, praying more, journaling more, seeking help, whether it was hiring a coach, a therapist, which was when I started to feel like the real work was beginning. The person I'm evolving into, that I want to be, that I crave to be, that I need to be, is starting to emerge. So join us if you are in a similar place or the exact place that I'm in as well, pivoting, transitions, redefining self. Then stay to listen to the Keys podcast. Hang out with me. It's a good time. Like I said, my intentions are to speak from the heart, give you the keys, but I forgot to mention, also have a good time. Life is more enjoyable when you're having fun and when you're counting your blessings, when you're grateful, thankful. Life and every day became more enjoyable when I had that attitude of gratitude. But I'm also human, and I exercise all of the skills and the tools and the keys that I've gathered over these years and decades. I recently turned 41 in April. And let me tell you, turning a whole new decade will light a fire in you that you didn't know exist, at least for me personally. And even though I'm grateful, I'm thankful, it's because of those times when I was so down and depressed and sad, going through breakups, whether it was relationships, friends, work, career, dreams, visions. having to grieve, go through loss, and still run a business? What? Or maybe the other side of grief, stress, overwhelm, drinking. I used to drink a lot. As of this podcast, it's actually making me stutter a little bit. At the recording of this podcast, I'm currently 8 months sober. And that's a conversation and a topic I do want to dive in, although sensitive. This is my real life. And just to give you a glimpse into what was going on, I just love to party. I love the party atmosphere, but I started to realize my habits were overtaking my career. Meaning, I wasn't waking up drinking, but I was constantly hungover. And the older I got, I'd go out on the weekends compared to my 20s when it was almost every day and still working. But I had to realize I probably would have accomplished a lot more dreams and goals if I wasn't drinking so much, if I wasn't in survival mode all the time. And the older I get, the harsher those hangovers were, the more expensive drinks cost, because now we're buying quality tequila. We're not just buying any old tequila, top shelf at minimum. And we're treating our friends, we're treating, whose birthday is it? So the price tag for that habit was expensive. And I found myself only working for the weekends, which wasn't fun. And after a while, my first attempt with sobriety in 2018, it was great. I probably made the most money I ever made in life. I had quality relationships. I got to spend time with family, friends. But it also made me reevaluate the friends that I did have that no longer reached out when I wasn't partying, when I wasn't trashed, right? So as much as I enjoy partying and having fun, that part of me stopped being a good time. And when I reevaluated who I was surrounding myself with in those moments or in those in those frames of mind, I knew something had to change. So I'm going to dive deeper into topics like that and how it impacted my business, my work, my finances, debt, and how I got back into debt in my 40s. And remember, just 2 minutes ago, I said I turned 41 in April. Yeah, in 2 years, things can change rapidly if you don't get a good grip on them, or at least have an understanding and a plan with systems in place before it gets out of control. So I want to talk about all those things. I want to talk to you all. If you want to be a guest on this show, I would love to have you on. So send me a message, visit my website, thekeyswork.com, and we can talk. My email is thekeyswork@gmail.com. That's the best way to reach me. I am on social media, but I'm not posting there as much as I am just showing up on the podcast. I do have a YouTube channel strictly for the Keys podcast. It's no longer attached to the Transaction Care YouTube channel because I wanted, like I said, this is a platform that goes beyond just real estate, just transaction coordination. I'm venturing into my coaching era. Yes, I am fully embracing that role, that responsibility, and I want to work with each and every one of you, or as many of you as possible, because I know each and every one of you would be almost impossible, but hey, you never know. So if you want to work with me one-on-one and hire me as your coach, or at least get some more insight and learn more, just visit thekeyswork.com. All information will live there. And I'm also building out my personal website, LillianHernandez.com. So feel free to visit. It might be under construction, but I just wanted to document this process and not wait until the perfect moment, because I feel like without being impulsive or impatient, the things we want to achieve just need to get started, but they don't necessarily need to be done, because nothing is ultimately done. Even when all things are, when everything is all said and done, or we're it's centuries beyond us, our legacy can still live on. Our voice can still live on because of the ripple effects and the impact we made while we were here, using our skills, using our talents, our natural abilities to show up for whoever we're intended to serve, to impact, to inspire. And I truly believe that. So if you're still here listening to the Keys podcast with me, Lillian, Lilly Hernandez, then I thank you. from the bottom of my heart, the top of my heart, the west side, east side of my heart. But truly, with a smile on my face, I'm coming on here letting you know about The Keys podcast. Tag me and post. Let me know your favorite parts of the episode. We're just getting started. And even if we have to start all over, we're always starting from experience. And again, I'm giving you the keys because there are no gatekeepers here. And we are unlocking the path to career freedom together. So thank you again for listening to this official episode of the Keys podcast. We are back, like for real. We are back. All right. At the time of this recording or this launch, it is August 2025. So document and remember this time of your life and know that from this point forward, things are changing. We're getting better. We are loving ourselves more and more each day. And that's going to have a tremendous impact for everyone and everything around us moving forward. So until the next episode, this is the Keys podcast, and I am your host, Lillian Hernandez. But you can call me Lilly. We'll talk soon. If you enjoyed this episode of the Keys podcast, please visit thekeyspodcast.com to sign up for our email list where you can learn more, not just about the show, but as well as coaching services, products, and other amazing things ahead. Thank you again for tuning in, and be sure to visit thekeyspodcast.com.